meeting. I'm Valerie Sullivan, Chair, and as a matter of order, I wanted to welcome everybody to this meeting. It's being live streamed, and as part of our requirements, I wanted to make sure that everybody who's watching knows that each of today's votes would be done by roll call by our General Counsel. So let me let you know who's on today's meeting. I'm Valerie Sullivan, Chair. We have Bobby Kaplan, who's our Vice Chair. We have designee Cassandra Roeder for Secretary Heffernan. We have designee Rebecca Butler for Gary Anderson from the Division of Insurance. We have Adam Chapdelaine. We have Toby Choate. We have Christy Clenard. We have Joe Gentile. We have Gerzino Gerard. We have Patty Jennings, Eileen McEnany, who'll be here only for the first hour. We have Melissa Murphy Rodriguez. We have Anna Seneko, and we have Tim Sullivan. So hope everybody had a good summer. I know the staff have been very busy over the summer. So even though we haven't met as a commission for the last 3 months, the time has flown by. I wish I could say that COVID flew by, but we're still here meeting via remote. Look forward to the time where we can all be together. But thank you to the GIC staff who have stayed focused on our constituents over the summer. The first order of a vote is for the minutes from our June meeting, and I'd like to have a motion that we approve them.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby Kaplan. Thank you, Christy Clenard. So at this point, I'm going to turn over roll call to Andrew. And for me, Andrew, I am a yay. Andrew, for roll call.
Sorry, I was having trouble getting off mute.
That's okay.
Vice Chair Kaplan,
Present.
is that, we're voting, is that an affirmative?
I'm sorry. Yes, sorry, I apologize. I was thinking about something else. Yes.
Commissioner Roeder,
Yes.
Commissioner Chapdelaine,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Designee Butler,
Yes.
Commissioner Choate,
Yes.
Commissioner Clenard,
Yes.
Commissioner Guerin,
Yes.
Commissioner Gentile,
Yes.
Commissioner McEnany,
Yes.
Commissioner Jennings,
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Sinenko,
Yes.
and Commissioner Timothy Sullivan.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. So at this point, I'm going to turn over the meeting agenda to our Executive Director, Matt Bino.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the Commission. Welcome to our September meeting. Also to members of the public who are joining us watching along on YouTube, also members of my team here at the GIC staff. I hope you all had a wonderful summer. I don't know if your September was like mine, but after a relatively quiet summer, September came on full force right out of the gate. As our chair said, we've been very busy throughout the summer. I want to just say a few words about our agenda today. So we have, as you can see, no formal business, no votes, but we do have kind of a threefold objective for today's meeting. We want to update you on our engagement work, something that we've devoted a considerable amount of time over the last 6 months or so, since we laid out those plans in April to you all. So Erica Shabelli, our Deputy Executive Director, will walk through what we've done to date, what we've learned so far, and what's ahead. Secondly, we will then complete the final chapter of our deep dives into our three main areas of focus: health equity, behavioral health, and affordability, that we began with the Commission back in February. And this last chapter will be a focused look on the high cost of specialty drugs with Devin Shaw, our colleague at Willis Towers Watson. And then finally, we'll have a presentation by Margaret Anschutz, our manager of healthcare analytics, and she will summarize the takeaways from all that we've tried to help you understand and deepen your understanding on over the last few months. So in an important way, then this meeting will be a little bit shifting gears with the Commission. We finish up the foundational educational piece, and starting in our meeting, next meeting in October, we'll start walking through what we're going to do about it, and how we'll use the coming procurement and other tools at our disposal to accomplish our mission. So that's where the really interesting work begins and when the hard work begins, and we look forward to doing that. So that's a little sense of what we're doing here today. Next slide. Go to the, yeah, there you go. Thanks. So we'll review the calendar in just a moment, and I will remind commissioners that our executive director's report is in written form. We're happy to take any comments or questions or thoughts on the contents thereof. I do want to highlight just a few items. I always want to touch on specific movements in the human resources area. So first of all, I want to thank Janine Hines, our prior executive assistant, who many of you know very well from her support of the Commission, who left us earlier this year to go to work with the Secretary of Transportation. So we're really happy for her. Sad to see her go, and thank her for all her work. As Erica noted, we've welcomed Tansy Helmke, who is assisting in all of the matters that Janine took care of. I also want to mention that we're welcoming in early October Leslie Montero, who will take over as communications manager on Erica Shabelli's team, and we'll introduce her at our next meeting. Also want to welcome Lori Montefusco to the Medicare Operations Unit. And I'm sad to say that Nick Vogler, who is also extremely helpful on assisting with the technical aspects of the Commission meeting, will be leaving us shortly for an outstanding opportunity that he has in the private sector. In addition to the work supporting the Commission, he's been a really key member of the operations team as it relates to our modernization efforts. So I wanted to acknowledge the work of Nick as well. On the office move, the update is that we've moved, and we're now settled into our new space at Ashburton, 1 Ashburton Place in the McCormick building. So we are no longer at the Hurley building. It's a pretty empty office on any given day. Today, I think I'm the only one here. So we haven't returned to the office, but we have moved our physical location. It was a tremendous amount of work by, among other people, Maureen Quinn and Janine Hines and Brock Weidenheimer and so many others, that it went so smoothly. And lastly, that we've, on the communication side, we've had a steady stream of communications to our members about our employee assistance program, Mass for You, and we've actually got some more on the cusp of going out as well. So with that, I will pause. If there's any questions on any of the items I addressed or anything in the written executive director's report, we're happy to answer them.
I don't see anybody's hand up, but I do want to take a moment to thank Nick for all the work that he's done. He's made these live stream YouTube opportunities for our broader audience possible. And I also want to thank Janine, even though she's not here. Janine and Nick were very powerful in terms of setting up these meetings and making it seem like it was all smooth. and easy. So thank you. I also want to welcome Tansy. So looking forward to Tansy and Leslie and Lori joining the team. I also just want, Matt, for you to say a few words. I do love the executive director's report. I don't know if other commissioners like it as much as I do, but it's nice to have something in addition to the minutes to review in preparation for our meetings. If you could just say a few words about the munis, because we're always, as a commission, interested in seeing if we can get more constituents part of our broad coverage. So happy to see that, but maybe say a few words about the meeting with the municipalities and how that went, and if it looks like there's some new municipalities joining us.
Yeah, I'm happy to say a couple words. I did note some questions from commissioners, which we can take at your direction. So we will have more to say about our municipal portfolio. I think we were talking recently about doing that in our November or December meeting. As commissioners are aware, if we have a municipality that is currently in the GIC and looking to leave, they need to notify us by December 1st. And as part of that effort, we provide data to those municipalities to evaluate their options. We've had a few hiccups there that have been due largely to the complexities of our transition to a new claims database. We did have a meeting with our municipal consultants, which we have had in the past under my predecessor. We want to keep those lines of communication open, a good, productive conversation. We laid out, our thoughts and plans and our ongoing work around procurement. Just a good, healthy dialogue that we're hoping to continue. So, we will have more to say when we have a little more information about our municipal portfolio in the couple of commission meetings that are before us.
All right, thanks, Matt. I do see Christy has her hand up. Christy, go ahead. You have the floor.
Matt, have you received any notices of intent to leave from any municipalities at this point?
We have not, and we wouldn't typically by this time of the year. We usually get those much closer to the deadline, as the municipalities have a good deal of work to do to evaluate their options. We have had a number who have requested their data, which is also not unusual. I want to say it's in the order of about a dozen of our municipalities that have requested data.
Good. Keeping Margaret busy.
Indeed. Commissioner Cho had a question. He had his hand up earlier.
You answered it in your explanation of the munis. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
All right, let's move on from the executive director's report. If we can take a look at the calendar briefly. So this is a near-term snapshot of our work with you over the next few months leading to the end of this calendar year. I've already talked about today's meeting. In October, we will engage in a discussion with you about the findings from our conjoint survey, which we were very excited. We are very excited to present those findings to you. As you may recall, that survey completed back in early August, and we've been working closely with Deloitte since then to analyze that data. So we really look forward to coming back in October with more work there. We will provide a kind of data-grounded COVID report that Margaret Anschutz and Lauren Makashima in our data analytics unit are working on. We will present on plan audits for I believe it's 2 or 3 of our health carriers. And at the request of commissioners, will also provide a review or an update on where we are with the findings from last year's plan audits, which we talked to you about back in the spring. In November, we shift to a review of our annual stewardship meetings, which we're just about to launch into. This is a very busy time of year for us with our vendors to understand their performance in the last fiscal year. And we will provide at that point, actually, that's the October meeting. Oh, so no, November meeting. So in November, we'll be really excited to also present you a really comprehensive summary on where we are with our strategy development around the procurement. And this is going to be a major feature of all commission meetings leading right up to the release of the RFR, which, as you may recall, is slated for the second quarter of calendar year 22. So we'll be really excited to do that. And then in December, we begin the rate development process and plan design process. We'll have Vince Kane, as he does every year, provide a look at the preliminary rates for our fiscal year 23 before changes. So I will note too, just as it relates to the calendar, this is a near-term snapshot. At the next meeting, we intend to have a full calendar that will capture all of the topics, at least as we have them firmed up now, right through the end of the calendar year of 2022. So look forward to that in the next packet. Any questions on the calendar here? One other thing I will note is that we do typically, so you'll see in the June 17th meeting, we had the Health Policy Commission and CHIA present on their annual cost trends. That
Matt,
was,
I'm sorry, I need to just interject here for a moment. We're having a little bit of a technical issue with our meeting. We're going to have to restart the meeting lest it end without us knowing. So
Okay.
if we could just pause here very quickly. Nick is handling it on the back end. I'll be in contact with all the commissioners momentarily, but we'll need to restart the meeting. My apologies for that.
okay.
Okay, thank
Should
you.
we log off or will it log off for us?
It will log us all off.
And then we have to go back into the link and re-log on, correct?
Nick